Garlic, scientifically called Allium sativum, has been used since ancient times, both for its application in the kitchen and for its multiple medicinal properties. It's a plant about 35 centimeters long and has an underground bulb popularly known as garlic head, which is formed in turn by between 6 and 12 bulbils, also called cloves. To watch the Spanish version of this video, you can find a link in the description box. The pulp of garlic contains a large number of active substances, among which various sulfur compounds stand out. In the fresh, intact pulp, the main component is allium, or S-allylcysteine sulfoxide. When the bulbs are stored at low temperatures, the allium remains unchanged. But when the garlic is cut or crushed, the allium is transformed into allicin and other sulfur compounds. Both allium and allicin are the main known active ingredients in garlic, but it's more than 100 different components, including mineral salts, sugar, lipids, amino acids, terpenes, vitamins, enzymes, flavonoids, and many others give it numerous therapeutic properties, many of which are still poorly understood. Garlic is mainly used to treat the following diseases: high pressure, elevated cholesterol and triglycerides, formation of thrombi and clots, prediabetes, bacterial infections, fungal infections, parasites and intestinal worms, inflammation, prostate enlargement, toothache, oxidative stress, and cancer prevention. Regarding high blood pressure, garlic has an antihypertensive effect because it helps the human body to produce a greater amount of nitric oxide, a component that has vasodilator properties that help lower blood pressure. Mild high blood pressure can be controlled very well with garlic as a single medicinal component. However, in patients with moderate or severe hypertension, it's recommended to take it only as a complementary resource to basic medicinal treatment. At another point, garlic helps reduce cholesterol and triglyceride levels in the blood. When total cholesterol is about 200 mg over deciliter, it tends to stick to the walls of the arteries and clog them, which is called atherosclerosis. As they become occluded, the arteries can no longer carry blood to the cells of the affected region. Thus, for example, the lack of blood supply to the coronary arteries can give rise to angina pectoris or a myocardial infarction. Lack of blood in the brain arteries can cause cerebral hemorrhage and thrombosis, and the obstruction of the blood in the extremities can favor the appearance of gangrene. Garlic also has properties that inhibit platelet aggregation, which modifies blood coagulation and prevents the formation of thrombi and clots inside arteries and veins. The mechanisms of action proposed for this effect include the blockade of thromboxane synthesis throughout the inhibition of cyclooxygenase and lipoxygenase, as well as the inhibitory effect of platelet receptors for ATP, collagen, and fibrinogen. Consequently, because garlic reduces blood pressure, helps normalize cholesterol and triglyceride levels, and has a fibrinolytic and platelet anti-aggregant action, it's extremely useful in the prevention of cardiovascular diseases. In another topic, the presence of sugar in the blood is called glycemia, and its normal value when measured fasting is between 70 and 99 milligrams over deciliter. When a person has a fasting blood glucose between 100 and 125 milligrams over deciliter, it means that they have prediabetes, which is like a warning sign since those who present it have a high risk of developing type 2 diabetes mellitus. A person is considered diabetic when their fasting blood sugar levels are above 126 milligrams over deciliter. Well, garlic is very useful in non-diabetic and pre-diabetic people since it lowers fasting blood glucose so that it delays or prevents the onset of diabetes and the complications that it entails. Regarding infections, garlic exhibits a broad spectrum of activity against bacteria such as Salmonella, Escherichia coli, Staphylococcus, Streptococcus, Klebsiella, Proteus, Clostridium, and Mycobacterium mainly. In addition, it exerts a differential inhibition between the intestinal microflora and enterobacteria, that is, it respects the normal intestinal flora of the body. Garlic also has antifungal effects. Its spectrum of action includes many types of fungi, such as Candida, Trichophyton, Cryptococcus, Aspergillus, and Trichosphoron, among others, which is why it's effective in the treatment of skin ringworm. To exert its antifungal action, garlic decreases the oxygen consumption by fungi, which prevents their development. Garlic is also effective in eliminating parasites and intestinal worms. Several of the sulfuric compounds in garlic are believed to prevent female worms from laying more eggs and also destroy existing eggs. Additionally, garlic can combat inflammatory processes as it incorporates elements such as diallyl disulfide, which serves this purpose. As for the prostate, in many men it increases in size throughout their lives, and in some cases, such enlargement causes urinary symptoms and obstructs the flow of urine. In addition, the prostate can also become infected and inflamed and cause these symptoms. Well, the antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory effects of garlic help reduce prostate inflammation and help heal it. It also helps prevent the development of cancer in this organ. In other aspect, thanks to its antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties, the power of garlic can be of help for one of the most common and intense pains, toothache. Now let's talk about oxidative stress. Normal biological processes that take place in the cells of the human body produce molecules known as free radicals. Over time, the formation of free radical causes oxidative stress, which manifests itself as skin aging and appearance of various diseases. Well, garlic prevents the oxidation of cells due to its numerous antioxidant ingredients, which help neutralize free radicals and keep the body healthier and more protected. Finally, some studies show that the consumption of garlic exerts a protective effect that reduces the incidence of certain types of cancer, such as gastric, colorectal, and prostate. It has been argued that the effect against cancer could be due to different mechanisms of garlic, such as being a free radical scavenger, increasing glutathione values, and increasing or modulating the activity of enzymes such as glutathione S-transferase, catalase, etc. In its natural form, it's very important that garlic is consumed raw, since cooking it significantly reduces the ability to produce allicin, which, as already mentioned, represents one of the main active ingredients of this plant. For the treatment of mild hypertension, high cholesterol, and triglycerides, bacterial infections, and prevention of thrombi and clots, the recommended daily dose of fresh garlic is 4 grams, which is equivalent to 2 or 3 cloves of garlic. If you prefer the presentation of pulverized garlic or in capsules, the dosages are determined by the manufacturer and can be found on the package label. For the treatment of parasites and intestinal worms, it's recommended to take a clove or minced or crushed fresh garlic along with a glass of hot milk daily for 5 days. For toothache, you have to chop, crush, or cut a clove of garlic in half and place it on the affected tooth. This process should be repeated 2 or 3 times a day until the discomfort disappears. For fungal infections of the skin, such as ringworms, including the so-called athlete's foot, ajoine is used, an ingredient of garlic, which is marketed in the form of a cream or gel, which must be applied twice a day for a week. Finally, to prevent cancer, it's recommended to consume 4 to 30 grams of fresh garlic per week for a long time. Now, the question is, should garlic be consumed on an empty stomach for it to be effective? The categorical answer is no. The active ingredients of garlic are equally well absorbed if it's consumed before, with, or after food, but yes, the garlic must be raw. And because in sensitive people, especially those with gastritis, garlic can cause heartburn, nausea, vomiting, and burning in the mouth or stomach, it's recommended to consume it with or after food, but not on an empty stomach. The garlic will not lose its effect at all. Now, allicin is responsible for the strong smell of garlic, so people who are intolerant to it are advised to mince garlic and let it sit for 15 minutes before using it as a remedy. In that short period of a time, the aroma of garlic diminishes and it doesn't lose its medicinal properties. Another undesirable effect of garlic is bad breath, for which is recommended to drink a glass of milk or chew a sprig or parsley immediately after consuming the garlic, in addition to brushing your teeth. As a precaution, the consumption of more than 3 cloves of garlic per day is not recommended in people who are taking anticoagulant or antiplatelet drugs without consulting their doctor. Garlic is also not recommended for people allergic to it.